29! Sorry, I don't know if you want people to know that, but I am 29.
I don't care.
We are the same age, and I am 29.
Hello, peoples of the internet. Welcome to Justified Delirium. It is February, and we are we're doing our last episode of the series regarding therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about something that no one wants to talk about.
Oh, God.
Because it's scary, and
Yes.
if you're younger, you don't know how it works all the time.
Or even if you're almost 30, you don't know really how it works.
And you're still learning.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about health insurance and mental health services. Mm-hmm. So, Erica did kind of like an experiment here so that we could talk about this effectively. And she checked some stuff out on the internet regarding her insurance. So, we're going to jump into that, and we'll kind of like take it from there.
Chime in.
I shall.
Like, jump on in.
I
Okay.
will.
So, because I've never have done therapy myself, but I have some friends and relatives that are, like, kind of interested in doing therapy, but, like, how do you go about it? Like, how do you know health insurance? How do you know how much it costs? Like, is it a huge financial commitment? What do you do? Whatever. So I first started on my health insurance website, which is Health Partners, but you can just Google yours and then just figure out what health insurance plan you have or your parents have or your family has, and then try to find the benefits. Although once you get there, it doesn't mean you'll actually understand what it's saying, because I can't promise that. But I found out that I have a common health insurance plan through the company I work for, and but like I said, the benefits part is really confusing. So they do recommend that you can either call the HR person for your company, or you could straight up just call your health insurance place. The one time that I've called in previously, they were super helpful and answered my questions straight up without all the jargon. So if you feel better doing that, although some people are scared of phones, I get it.
Some people are scared of phones, but I will say that like, the people who are going to know your policies best are the people who work for those organizations. Right. I mean, like, by all means, read your policy.
Right.
Like, you should try
Get
to
a
read
dictionary?
your policy.
I don't know.
Or, like, sit with someone who's in the healthcare business so they understand what's going on. But, like, read it, but also don't be afraid to, like, reach out to someone and say, I actually don't know what this means, because you're probably in the majority.
Yeah. I think if you call with your questions of, like, is therapy covered, or whatever kind of medical questions you have for the health insurance company, your question is not unique, because everybody has to ask, because we don't know what we're reading or whatever. So one thing after I figured that out, I figured out what my benefits were, and that mental health was covered by my insurance, like just had to pay a copay. But then I was like, okay, well now who? Like who is covered by Health Partners that I have? I keep saying Health Partners because that's what I have, but that
you might
I think it works the same for other health insurance companies, but contact them. But then I searched just on the Health Partners website, like therapy. And I didn't find it under like mental health or anything like that. It was under behavioral health, and then a specialty under that was mental health. So just a heads up about that. I did go to the Psychology Today website that we talked about last time about the factors you should consider when looking for a therapist, and like gender or
super important
identity markers that we talked about last time, and you can filter it, which was really cool. So I first looked covered by Health Partners, checked that, and then I checked the location of where I want it to be, like near my work or something. And then if I want a man or a woman, whatever. And then I realized, I got a little too specific and there's nobody available. So I unchecked, I checked Spanish first to see if someone's native tongue was Spanish, like if I could get therapy that way, or whoever gets therapy that way. But that narrowed it down too much, so then I kind of backed up a little bit. And so then I did find a selection of people that therapists in the area that are covered by my insurance and that kind of deal. So if you look a little bit, like, don't be overwhelmed right away. You're not the only one who would get overwhelmed. Ask questions, but Google and your health insurance website is helpful. Also, if you're in college, A lot of campuses offer free mental health care. So like
clinics that they have, or like nursing, the nursing school.
Yeah.
Sometimes like you have psychology students who are like going through their clinics or like a rotation.
Yeah, like a lot of grad students who are practicing their clinic hours, or professors who are also practicing psychologists. They can help. So definitely look into the resources on your campus.
Yeah, and that's like really important. I think there's a lot of adults out there who are like, I'm still navigating my health insurance. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out what works best for me, and you're definitely not alone there. But like really for those college students or those younger folks out there, do not be afraid to reach out to people, because it is a service that they're trying to get you the best thing possible for you.
Really important, the thing I learned quickly, like just when I went to see a chiropractor, I'd first get this bill from my health insurance company or from the clinic that I went to, and it would be like $2,000, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't sign up for that. I don't have $2,000. Why did I just deal with my back pain kind of deal? And then another bill comes, and another bill comes, and another bill comes, and you just kind of freak out. But then, or you call them and freak out and be like, no one told me it was $2,000. And then we're like, just relax. It takes some time, but basically in the end, you'll pay your copay. So for me, I paid $20 copay. So that is a lot better than whatever. So don't freak out when you first see the bill.
So, like, they will make it manageable for you, or more manageable. Depending on what services you are getting, you might have to pay a little more, but most people pay, like, a fairly small amount. Right. And if you can't pay that amount, you can always work with health insurance companies or other services within your community to probably get that taken down so it is more manageable.
Yeah.
So don't freak out.
Yeah, don't freak out.
It will usually say...
You'll need therapy to deal with your health insurance. That I also found a bunch of resources, like from pretty cool websites, about either cheaper therapy or free therapy or resources in your community or hotlines to call. So I'll link those below. Oh, yeah. There's like an article from Lifehacker, from BuzzFeed. We all love BuzzFeed. And then also Penny Hoarder, because right now I'm a penny hoarder. So if you're still concerned about even that $20 copay, those are some resources that you can look into, and they'll be below.
One other thing that I want to say about particularly students who are still students, or young people who are
still minors,
who are still on their parents' health insurance. There are some things that are like really sensitive, and your parents might not be totally on board with you
or
understanding. There are ways that you can get the mental health service that you need and remain anonymous. If it's a concern for you that like there might be backlash with whatever service you're getting, you can always talk to someone and ask them to change your address to go maybe to like a P.O. box or maybe to your university mailbox. But I've had a couple of people reach out to me saying like, I had to change my mailing address so that my parents didn't realize that, or like whoever I was living with didn't realize that I was getting this service, because it could have made a barrier and made things worse in our relationship. It can be really scary going to therapy. It can be really scary to think you have to pay a lot of money for therapy, and that's just not the case. We were actually kind of iffy about talking about the mental health services and how your insurance played into that. But that is such an important part and such a decision factor for some people when they decide to go down a mental health journey and receive those services. So don't be deterred. Like, you're not alone, and your questions are not unique.
They're not unique.
They've been answered.
If you need to call the health insurance company, they've heard all the questions. So you're not unique in that fact.
And if you're the first person to ask that question, they're going to write a section about you.
Yeah.
So that might be your legacy. I don't know. Reach out to us, and let's continue the conversation.
And end the stigma.
Bye.
Did you change the words again?
No, there's one right there.
Where did bitch go? Did we have bitch?
Shit's
or
right there.
Shit? Okay.
Fuck's right there.
Good.
Is bitch here somewhere?